Hi, my name is Nicholas. Welcome to this week's Hatha practice. For props for today, a couple hard blocks and a soft block will be handy. And I'll invite you to get started in a seat, so any comfortable seated position that you like. And if for any reason this isn't comfortable for today, feel free to start lying down on the back, or you can find child's pose and then join up when you're ready. Take your time to get comfortable. Find a version of the shape that feels relatively effortless. So if you need to add more height to your seat or use your props in a different way, then go for it. Whatever is touching the floor, gently ground it down. Find that slight rebound through the spine. The crown of the head gently reaching towards the ceiling. The shoulder blades soft down the back. The hands resting wherever they feel comfortable. Either steadying the gaze to an unmoving spot or maybe closing down the eyes. Start to check in here. Gently invite the breath to start to deepen here. With each inhale, finding a sense of lightness, maybe weightlessness. With each exhale, feel that heaviness, that grounding. If you chose a different opening shape, then you can come up to a seat when you feel ready. And if you were cross-legged, then you might just choose to switch the cross of the legs to keep things a little more even in the body. Maybe with the hands down to the lap or to the knees. The next time you inhale, peel the chest through the shoulders. Maybe lift the gaze a little bit. And then as you exhale, bring the chin towards the chest and lean the center of the back behind you. Inhale, lengthen through the front body, belly button to chest to throat. And then exhale, round in, dome the back. And keep going with your breath at your pace. Using the whole inhale to find that space through the front body. And the whole exhale to lengthen the back body. Last few breaths here. Your next inhale breath, return to your tall spine and soften the shoulders down the back. And take the right hand down to the right, and you can use a block here. Reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, lengthen that whole left side. And as you exhale, arc over towards the right, any amount. You can brace as much as you need with the right hand. Just make sure that that right shoulder feels comfortable. Top arm can stay extended, or you can bend the elbow if you like. Left hip stays heavy. Stretch the whole left. And the next time you inhale, you can come on up and just reset for a moment. If you need to wiggle that out, go for it. And then you can take the left hand down to the left, reach the right arm high, deep inhale, and arc over as you exhale. Similar expression to what you did on the first side, but if you need to modify, then go for it. Find that stretch through the whole right side. Imagine you're stretching those little muscles in between each rib. Awesome. Inhale breath, come on up. Just give that a little shake out. And you can shake out the legs now as well. Maybe tap the backs of the knees to the floor, a little windshield wiper. And when you're ready, you can swing the legs around and we'll come and find child's pose. You can take the knees wide apart or the knees together, hips down towards the heels, maybe adding some extra support if you need it there. You can start to extend the arms forward down the mat and let the forehead rest into something. So if the floor is not quite there, then maybe adding one of your props underneath. Even here, notice your breath. Can you feel that lightness with each inhale? That grounding with each exhale. If you'd like a little more time in stillness, you're welcome to stay. When you feel ready, reach the arms all the way forward and then slither the body through to come to lying down on the belly. And keep the hands roughly underneath the shoulders, but find somewhere that feels comfortable for you. Take a moment to lengthen the crown of the head towards the front of the room, and then squeeze the big toes together, press the toenails into the floor to feel the kneecaps lift. And with the body engaged like this, take an inhale breath and lift the upper body any amount up off the floor. And with your exhale, lower it back down. And you can use the hands as much as you need for support. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. A few more with your breath, your range of motion. The last one. With your next inhale, press up to tabletop, and then hips towards the heels, come and find a kneeling shape. If kneeling like this doesn't work, then maybe a high kneel, or maybe you're coming back to a seat. Make sure you have space around you. And then with an inhale breath, circle the arms up towards the ceiling. With your exhale, twist towards the right and bring the arms to a T shape. Inhale, reach up, center, and over to the left. Your range of motion, keep going with your breath. The whole inhale to lift, and then the whole exhale to twist. One more each side. One last time, twist to the left. And then inhale, three center. And exhale, bring the hands down. Spread the fingers nice and wide on the mat. Grip the finger pads to the floor. And then come up to a tabletop position. Knees roughly underneath the hips. Take a moment to check in with the shoulders. Make sure that they feel stable here. If not, you can press the heels of the hands a little more to the floor and maybe grip the finger pads a little more into the floor. And from your tabletop position, extend the left leg behind you and tuck the toes under. Keep the knee lifted. And then start to press that heel away from you until you can find a nice stretch for the calf, for the back of the leg. And take a few deep breaths here. Awesome. And then step the left foot forward between the hands. We'll lift the back knee up and just take a moment to find your balance here. So if you need to widen the base or anything like that, then go for it. We're going to flow with the body. So take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Now as you inhale, lower the right knee towards the floor, raise the arms up towards the ceiling. And with your exhale, we'll lift the back knee and reach the arms back towards the back. Circle the arms up with your inhale, lower the knee. And then exhale to reverse it. We'll do a few more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Two more. Last one. Lower the knee, raise the arms, inhale. And with your exhale, lift the knee, lower the hands just to frame the front foot. And then pivot that right heel to the floor and take the hands off towards the top right corner. Lift the hips a little bit back and up so that you can find a downward slope for the spine. So think warrior two legs. It doesn't have to be exact. And think almost like a down dog upper body. So hands can press the floor away. Head can be nice and heavy. And find your breath here. Awesome. You can walk the hands in a little bit, maybe find your props, and then we'll extend the left leg and parallel the feet, heading halfway down the mat for a wide-legged fold. It might feel nice to pulse back and forth a little bit, bending one knee and then the other. And when you're ready to find stillness, find a base that feels good here. So if you need to turn the feet in a little bit or out, then go for it. And then when you're ready, you can hinge and fold over the legs any amount, and keeping the hands nearby for support. Let the spine be heavy, let the head be heavy. Notice if there's any part of the body that needs just a little extra support here. Maybe it's the low back, or maybe there's something uncomfortable happening in the hips. You need to adjust a little bit. All right. And coming to a halfway lift as you're ready. And you can walk yourself back towards the top of the mat, turn the toes forward, and then lower the knee and step back to a tabletop position. Give the hips a little movement side to side. And then take a moment to set yourself up, hands roughly under the shoulders, knees roughly under the hips. This time we'll step the right foot to the back of the mat, curl the toes under, press the heel back behind you, find the stretch for the back of the right leg. Awesome. And then you can step the right foot forward between the hands. And tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And take a moment to find your balance. If it's helpful to widen the base, then go for it. And take a deep inhale here. And stay here for the exhale. Inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, lower the back knee, lift the arms towards the ceiling. And then circle the arms down as you lift the back knee up. Lower the knee, raise the arms, inhale. And exhale. And take about 3 more with your breath. Last full one. Lower the knee, raise the arms. And this time, hands to the floor, back knee lifts. And pivot the left heel to the floor. You can start to walk the hands up the top right corner of the mat. Lift the hips back a little bit so you can find the downward slope of the spine. If there's anything that needs to be adjusted in the lower body, then go for it. Breathe here. Let the head hang heavy. And with an inhale, start to walk the hands back in. We'll turn the right foot in to parallel the feet. Find your blocks if you want them for support. And again, you might choose a little movement here, maybe a little side to side, see what the hips need. And when you're ready, you can come and set up for your fold. You can choose any expression of a fold, maybe staying in a halfway lift. You can add on a bind or something like that. Breathe here. If you need a little more time here, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, as you feel ready, you can come up to a halfway lift and then turn the toes to face the front. You can bring your props with you. A little different this time. We'll set the hands to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. And take a couple of breaths to set yourself up, adjusting the hands and the feet any way you need. Checking in with the pelvis, with the legs, the lower spine, the upper spine, the shoulders, making sure everything feels stable and supported. And from your down dog, with an inhale, lift the left leg up behind you. And with your exhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. And your choice if you want to lower the back knee or keep it lifted. Either way, we'll find the hard blocks with the hands roughly underneath the shoulders. With an inhale breath, let the pelvis dip a little bit, lift the heart space. And with your exhale, send the hips back and extend the front leg towards straight. Inhale into your lunge. And exhale into your hamstring stretch. And keep going with your breath at your pace. Three more. Last one. Your next inhale, come back to your lunge, this time lower the back knee to the floor, and then we'll kick down the right foot over to the left. You can bring your blocks so that they're close by for this, and then come on up into kind of a side lunge. You might need to heel toe the left foot towards center a little bit. We're going to set up for a side stretch here. So the options are you can work like this, or you could take the leg extended too. So just listen to your body and see what feels better for you. Either way, you can reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, maybe take the left elbow to the left knee or hand to hip, and take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, arc over towards the front any amount, maybe bend the top elbow. Imagine you're stretching the whole side body from just above the right knee to just below the right elbow. Breathe deeply. All right. Inhale, breath, come on up. And give the shoulders a little shake out. Extend the front leg towards straight, and then we'll lower the hips down towards the floor. So you can support yourself. We'll keep the right knee bent, right foot kind of towards the inside of the left leg, and then hips pointing towards the center, so between the two legs. And then option to fold from here, or I'll invite you to turn your body into the direction of the left leg. And if you need to adjust things, if you need to close it up a little bit to make this more comfortable, then go for it. So if you're turning to the direction of the right leg and folding, then it's a little bit of a twist and fold. So just make sure your spine's okay with that. You can take the right hand to the outside of the left leg, take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, start to hinge forward, and you can slide the right hand down the leg any amount. Don't feel like you need to pull yourself deeper than you're ready to go. And find that heavy feeling here, see if that can invite you and towards your edge, but not past it. Left hand wherever it feels the most comfortable. You can let the head hang heavy if you like. With an inhale breath, slowly unravel the body back up. And then bend the top knee so that the top shin is roughly parallel to the top edge of the mat. And we'll unravel the left leg to bring the right leg, sorry, so that the right shin is parallel to the right edge. Setting up a deer pose or 90-90, you might like to support the left hip a little bit, especially if you find yourself leaning way over. And then from here, you can choose where you want to fold from. You can either fold towards the knee, towards the shin, or towards the foot. So based on what we've been doing so far today, just see what feels best. You can bring your blocks along, so if the floor is a little far away, you can use them for support, maybe to rest the elbows or the forehead. If there is pinching going on, then maybe you stay upright, or maybe you adjust one or both of the legs. And slowly, with the weight in the hands, start to lift yourself back up. If you have a prop, you might slide off of it. Bring that left heel in, and then bring the right leg around. Step the right foot outside the left knee. If you need to add some support to the hips, then go for it. If you need to extend the bottom leg, then choose that. The right hand behind you, left arm around the right knee, any way you like. Take an inhale to lengthen. With your exhale, twist. Maybe take the gaze over that right shoulder. Inhale breath, come back to center. If your props are nearby, take them just near the other end of the mat so that they're there when we need them. And then take your counter twist over towards the left. And staying down to the left, listen to your body, press down the hands and the feet, and then make your way to a down dog facing the back of the mat. And see what you need here. Maybe it's some movement or stillness. We'll take about 8 breaths before we set up for the second side. So if you'd rather be in a child's pose, or if you want to flow or cat-cow, be wherever you need to be, stillness or movement. Perhaps checking back in with the body here. Continuing to cultivate those smooth inhales and exhales. When you do feel ready, we'll meet in downward facing dog. The next time you inhale, lift the right leg up behind you, and then step the right foot forward between the hands. And choose what you did on the first side, so back knee lifted or lowered. Find your blocks for your hands. Inhale breath, dip the hips, lift the heart space. And then exhale, hips back, front leg extends. Inhale breath, lunge, maybe lift the gaze. And then exhale, hips back, stretch the back body. And keep going with your breath. Last few. Last one. Inhale breath forward to your lunge. And lower the back knee. And kickstand the back foot, and then come on up to find your side lunge. Either keeping the knee bent or extending the leg if that's what you did on the first side. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, arc towards the front. Maybe bend the elbow to catch the head. Right arm for support wherever you need it. And then imagine that stretch from above the left knee all the way to just under the left elbow. Breathe there. Inhale breath coming up. Then you can extend the right leg and lower the hips down to the floor. And take a moment to set yourself up. Adding a little height, especially if it feels effortful to hold up the spine. Left foot in towards the inner right leg. And then choose, are you going to fold through the middle or fold over the right leg? If you're coming with me for that one, then take the left hand to the outside of the right leg, right hand for support where you need it. Inhale breath to lengthen. And then exhale, start to hinge over the right leg. Left hand can slide down. Finding your pain-free expression. Staying with your breath here. Inhale breath, slowly start to lift yourself back up. If anything needs a little shake out, then go for it. And then right shin, bring it parallel to the top edge. Release the left leg, left shin parallel to the left edge. Maybe a block for the right hip. And then adjust your angles any way you need. So if you need to bring either foot closer to the body, or if you need to lift either knee with one of your props, then go for it. And then this side may need something different. So maybe you were stretching towards the knee on the first one, and this one you want to stretch towards the foot. Just listen as you go into it. Find whichever one feels best. With the support of the hands, slowly start to lift yourself back up. If you have a prop under the hip, remove it. Right foot a little closer, and then bring the left leg around. Left foot just outside of the right knee. And pad the hips or extend the bottom leg. Left hand behind, right arm around the left knee. Deep inhale. And then twist towards the left any amount. Notice if the shoulders are shrugging, maybe they can soften a little. Keep that space across the chest, that length in the spine. Even here, inhaling for that sense of lightness. Exhale for that heaviness, that grounding. With your next inhale, unravel back to center. If you have your props, just take them halfway down the mat, and then take your counter twist over to the right. Now listen to your body, press the hands and feet, and crawl yourself into down dog facing the top of the mat. Stillness or movement, be here, cat-cow, child's pose, flow, wherever you need to be for the next 8 or so breaths. Making your way to down dog as you feel ready. And then take a deep inhale here. Deep sigh. And again. Last one. Gently lower the knees down to the floor. Bring the hips towards the heels. And then we'll swing the legs around. Give the backs of the knees a little tap. Maybe windshield wiper the feet side to side. Awesome. We're going to set up for a fish pose. If for any reason fish pose isn't accessible for you today, then you're welcome to stay upright like this. You can lean back on the hands and puff up the chest. Otherwise, if you're coming with me to fish pose, then you can lower down onto the elbows. And then I like to sit on my hands. You can bring the elbows a little closer here as well. And then start to press the elbows down to the floor as you lift the heart space towards the ceiling. And if it feels okay to let the head hang back, then go for it. And breathe here. Listen to your body. So if you need to come out sooner, then go for it. And you're welcome to stay for a few more breaths. When the time comes to exit, you can tuck the chin in, then let the elbows slide wide, and lower the spine down to the floor. Once you touch down, just pause here for a moment, checking in. Only when you feel ready to move again, you can walk the feet in so that they're roughly underneath the knees. If you want to find a little more distance between the feet, or bring them closer, or if you want to use a hard block between the thighs, then go for it. We're going to set up for bridge pose here. So you can have the arms down by the sides, or maybe robot arms, elbows by the rib cage, fingertips towards the ceiling. Notice the soles of the feet and press them to the floor. And press the elbows and the shoulders to the floor. With an inhale breath, start to lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling any amount, and then pause. And check in here. If there's pinching in the knees, you can also come up onto the tips of the toes, or you can work from the heels. If you like to stretch a little more through the spine, through the chest, then you might walk the shoulder blades together. If you have space, you might interlace the hands under the low back. And continue to press the feet actively to the floor, lift the pelvis high, and continue to breathe. If as the chest comes up, it's restricting your windpipe, then maybe lift the chin a little bit. You might have a little more room to breathe. If you like, you can stay for up to 5 more breaths. When you do feel ready to come out, exit the way you came in. So if the hands are together, you can release them first. And slowly sequence the spine down to the floor. Pelvis touching down last. Maybe separating the feet a little wider apart, bring the knees in to rest together. And take a few deep breaths. Awesome. You can walk the feet back in. I'm going to set up for a more restorative bridge pose, but if you'd like to take a second round of the active shape, you're welcome to do that. If you're coming with me, then have your hard blocks nearby, set up the same way, and then we'll lift the hips just enough to slide 1 or 2 blocks underneath the pelvis. So see where it feels the most supportive. If the blocks are digging into the spine, then shift them down a little bit. And you're welcome to stay in the bent knee version, or you could think about extending the legs long down the mat. If you're extending the legs, you can just let the feet flop however they like. Arms can stay by the body, or if you like a little more upper body stretch too, you can extend the arms to the floor overhead. Finding your pain-free expression and settling into it. If you're in the active version, you can come down when you're ready and take feet wide, knees together, and pause. If you're with me in the restorative shape, we'll stay here for a few more breaths. And if you do need some more time, wherever you are, you're welcome to stay. If you're with me, you can release the arms down first, and then maybe walk the feet in, lifting the hips just enough that you can slide your props out, and then lowering the pelvis to the floor. It might feel nice to take the feet wide, maybe give yourself a gentle windshield wiper of the knees side to side. Awesome. When you feel ready, you can bring the legs back to center and then scoot the hips over to the left a little bit. We'll lower the knees down towards the right for a twist. Your props are nearby, so if you like to take a block in between the knees or if you like to take something under the left shoulder, you can go for it. It might feel nice to bring the arms to a T shape here if you like to take the gaze down towards the left. That might feel nice for the upper spine too. If there's anything you can adjust in your shape that makes it a little more stable, a little more comfortable, then feel free to do that. And then find your stillness as you're ready. And gently return the head back to center, and then the legs back to center one at a time or together. Scoot the hips to midline, then over to the right. And then the knees can lower down to the left. The side may feel different, so take your time to set up, add in any support that you need. And then settle in, find your stillness as you're ready. Gently bring the head back to center, and then release the lower body back to center. Now scoot the hips to midline, take the feet wide, and then give yourself a windshield wiper side to side. And check in to see if your body's asking for any last stretch or movement here. You can find that now. And then when you're ready, we'll set up for a rest pose. For Shavasana today, I would suggest a butterfly shape so you can take the soles of the feet together and the knees wide apart. And it might feel nice to support the knees or the outer thighs. And see where you'd like the hands to rest. They can be on the pelvis or by the body, to the floor overhead, maybe on the body. If your hair is tied up, it might feel nice to untie it, or if you have glasses, maybe to remove them. Give your head a gentle rock side to side, releasing the neck. You might run your tongue along your teeth, between teeth and lips, top set and bottom set, to help release the jaw. Maybe softening the space around the eyes, between the eyebrows, the space around the mouth. Letting the body get heavy as you settle in, as you find your stillness. From wherever they are, bring one hand to the heart space and the other hand on top. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Deep sigh out the mouth. Twice more. Last one. Gently extend the legs long down the mat. And give the feet a little movement side to side. You might extend the arms up the mat and give yourself a full body stretch. And then you can roll down to one side and take a pause there for a few breaths. And eventually coming up to find any comfortable seated position, using any of your props for support. Settling the hips, lengthening the spine, softening the shoulders. Take a scan through the body just to notice. Notice your headspace here. Notice the gentle flow of your breath. Perhaps connecting the hands at the heart and bowing the chin towards the chest. Thank you for sharing your breath and your energy today. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Hatha Practice. And my name is Nicholas. If you have any questions, please reach out and enjoy the rest of your week.